Okay, so welcome to We the People Value Integrity, where we believe that integrity is a principle and not just a preference. Integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, the state of being whole and undivided. And today, I've got my good friend Jeff with me, and he is going to take a little time and share with us about the sphere of government and how integrity is important in that area. So, Jeff, welcome.
Good to see you, David. Well, I guess I'll just start with the fact that I do work for the federal government. And when I was sworn in, I took an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I took that oath very seriously. I'm also involved with one of the major parties as a delegate, and I decided to get involved because really had a lot to do with the whole issue of integrity. So that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. So do you want to just share a little bit about what you're doing in that role in government and why it's so important?
Well, I'm a delegate, so that means I work within the party. Basically, my responsibility there is to contact people within the party, registered voters, listen to what they have to say, discuss the issues of our day, and share with them information about upcoming candidates, meetings, and the direction of the party.
Oh, okay. So I know you are a big advocate for the Constitution. I know your heart is for the Constitution. Would you like to share a little bit about that and your passion for that?
Well, you know, I call myself a constitutional conservative, but you know, that can mean a lot of different things to different people, and it really doesn't necessarily point you in one direction of one party or the other. But the whole issue of the Constitution, you know, when it starts off, we the people, and our form of government in the United States is really unique. There's no other form of government, no other constitution like ours, and the uniqueness starts off with the fact that it's actually a government of, for, and by the people.
Yes.
In other words, typically what we think of government is, it's kind of even a corporate model, you know, where we have the executive on top, and it's almost like the shape of a pyramid, whereas our Constitution creates a type of government where the authority of those who elected comes directly from the people who elect them. And so really it's a reverse, which we call a reverse pyramid, where the people are actually governing the nation through representatives. So it's a different way to look at it. And this unique form of government, in my opinion, succeeds or fails, and it's all based around this principle of what we're talking about as far as integrity.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like the way you described that. It seems like these days it's upside down, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, the Constitution was written, like you said, for the people to govern, and we govern by electing officials that represent what we believe in. And we've certainly seen a decline in that and almost just a complete reversal of where the people have been minimized.
Yeah, I think there's been a real disconnect between elected officials and the people that elected them, and almost a distortion of the intent of the Constitution, and that this whole issue of integrity, we've gotten away from the mindset that the people really have to make an effort to really know the elected officials, the people they're voting for. And there's almost been a disconnect there. And And I think that this whole issue of integrity, no matter what party you're on, no matter what party you support, we can see across the board in this day that integrity is a real issue. It's a real problem in both parties. And that creates a conflict. And it's very hard to resolve conflict if there isn't integrity.
What do you think we can do as the people? I mean, I know that's a broad question, but, obviously voting is a right that we have and a privilege that we have that we all need to exercise. But, what do you do when your voice may not be heard, or the people that you do elect end up not not really representing the voice of the people? I mean, it's frustrating, but do you have any suggestions? Is there things that we can do today to get involved?
Well, I like to think of it as getting your nose in the fight. But it's kind of the issue really is that because our country's been so prosperous, because life is so good here, the people have drifted away from their responsibility. If we understand the Constitution, then we know that the people who vote are the people who are responsible for governing. And the government works, in other words, we hire representatives. And so I think one of the things that we need to understand is that to keep our republic, to keep this country the greatest nation in the world, the freest nation in the world, we have to be willing to sacrifice and be involved in the actual work of pursuing and seeking out elected officials, candidates who really do value integrity, who really stand up for integrity, no matter what it costs them. I know that we have a definition of what integrity is, and we talk about it, and this site is, I think, is key. Ever since you've asked me to be involved with this, movement, which I'm sure it will become one. And I know that everybody out there says, "Well, we need another movement," but this is different. It's unique because when you think about when we think about integrity, a lot of times we think about being honest, being truthful, but maybe I think about integrity a little bit different. I think integrity is really what you do with the truth. In other words, when we find the truth, okay, and since this is about government or maybe the political sphere, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, there is truth, okay? There's real truth. And integrity is what you do with that truth, no matter whether it hurts you or helps you in your position. Yeah. In other words, we're so polarized in defending our position that we've forgotten about the principle of integrity, which should be able to bring us together. Yeah. I mean, I don't mean to ramble on too much.
Well, I know. I mean, I think I look at some of our officials today, and it just seems like they're really about keeping their job, compromising truth, not making waves. I mean, whatever. I mean, there's a whole gambit of the reasons why these people are not really standing up and representing the people, the voice of the people. But I appreciate what you're doing. I felt like at my age, what can I do? I've certainly been asleep for a long time. I really haven't been involved. That's my fault. But today is a new day, and I see you and people like you that are getting involved, finding ways to get involved. And it can start just at your PTAs or your council meetings or just anything that's going around in your community. You can get involved. You can be present and be a voice. We've got to be a voice today. So lastly, is there anything that maybe an example that you can cite where you witnessed or you were challenged in integrity when nobody was looking? Because I think that's a key thing. we tend to think we can get away with things if nobody's watching, but if it's from the heart, you know, you need to do the right thing regardless. But is there anything?
Well, I think instead of a specific example, I think it's important for us to understand that the battle for integrity in our own personal lives spills over into our community service, our communities, our friends, our family, our church life if we're involved in church, all of our relationships. And so for me, I know that every day I have to battle, not just about knowing what's true or what's not true, but what am I going to do with the truth? How am I going to handle that truth? And in my own life, there's always this pull, okay, to and this is the key that I think is to integrity goes beyond, and for me it goes beyond my personal need, my personal want, my personal ambition.
Yes.
Okay? And it goes to the heart of the issue of what's right. Okay? What is the righteous thing to do with the truth that I have available to me? And so every day, I think it's a struggle. And I think that one of the things, and I'd like to encourage anybody that's watching, is that you have to start examining your own soul and what you want your life to be, what you want your legacy to be, what you want to hand down to your children. And I really want to encourage you to examine your own heart and really ask yourself, what does integrity mean to you? And I think that first step, our eyes will begin to be opened, and we'll begin to step one step at a time towards living a life of integrity.
Well said. Well said. Well, I don't think we can add anything else to that. That was very good, and I like the way that point that you made is we know the truth. What are we going to do with it? I think that's very key. So thank you, Jeff, for taking your time to be with us. Thank you for watching out there. I would encourage you to check out our website, wethepeoplevalue.com. Thank you.